Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of Gracefall. Welcome to Fredonia. That's Fredonia. Hi, everybody. Last episode, there was a midwinter party, a corporate-mandated midwinter's party, followed by some touch sport. And then the discovery that two engineers, Fred and Vondra, were missing and had absconded with several important supplies. The group tracked them down and found a little kind of tin and metal lean-to castle-esque thing. The big, like, basically neon electric sign that says Fredonia, and Fred, the aforementioned dwarf, appeared, and he had kind of made himself regalia out of sticks and metal, and said, "Welcome," and we'll pick up there.
We've been here for, what, 3 weeks?
Not even.
2.
It's 2.5, yeah.
This is the second cult.
We're good at starting cults, apparently.
I shouldn't be able to sigh in an exasperated fashion. I don't have lungs. And yet somehow you have done that to me. This place has done that to me.
Issabel is going to just kind of, like, reach down at her neck, pull out her, like, holy symbol for silver Durgan Brightmantle, the family heirloom she has, kind of hold it up to her ear, shake it a little bit, give another disappointed sigh, put it away, then just, in Dwarven, Frederick Silvermaw, of House Silvermaw, of the halls beneath the tranquil moons, what in your ancestor's name are you doing in a jungle adorned with leaves?
I'm King Fred the First.
Clangley will say in Dwarvish, "Fred, what the fuck are you doing?"
He'll respond in Dwarvish, "I'm King Fred First of my name."
Okay, why, though? And I'm going to switch back to common now. So everyone can understand.
Yeah, he kind of looks at you like, there's so much land here. I mean, this is... I figure just this kind of as far as I can see can be mine.
Fred.
Weirdly enough, like, I do see why this is bad for the mission. Has he heard? No, he did steal all those supplies. We can't have that. No, we can't have that. I want to be. Look, Fred, you have a point, but at the same time, you can't be stealing our stuff.
I plan on paying you back. However, I've come across something. It's quite remarkable. And I had to leave because I didn't really want the company to own the discovery, it turns out. Because I don't think that's fair at all. I think I should own my discovery and be in charge of my own house.
What's your discovery?
He says...
whisper to Claire, he kind of has a point.
He just says, first, I must ask, if you do come in, you won't attack me. We're all friends here.
You killed or injured anyone?
No.
Okay.
A person? No. No. I did hunt some. I had to eat.
Again, probably shouldn't be kind of killing whatever because we're not sure about the ecosystem. That's not
Right,
my department.
right. Do you know how
Are we
hard
supposed to be killing whatever?
it is to hunt with a cannon? It's not easy.
How did we not hear that?
I have a silencer.
For a cannon?
Don't worry about it. Andy didn't think about that part.
Silence still exists. It's fine.
But he says, as long as you won't attack me, I do have the cannon. Marty said it's called a suppressor. Sorry. He just puts
Either
a pillow
or.
in front of the cannon, and it's fine. It works in movies.
Just a hole
Puts
in
a
the
plastic
pillow.
water bottle up against it, just slides it down the cannon bore.
Yeah, like in Fallout.
Good for one shot.
Or oil filters, I think you usually use in Fallout too. Yeah, he says as long as you promise not to attack him, he will let you in to show you his discoveries.
Okay.
I won't.
And the fact that you led with that's a little weird, but you haven't given us any reason to. So,
He just says, I don't know much about corporate takeovers, but I heard they can be hostile.
I'm literally the head of a union. Do you really think I'm going to do a forced corporate takeover? Just because I have a top hat doesn't mean I'm a capitalist.
I don't know. The top hat, though.
It's the one-eye monocle type deal, isn't it?
It's a good look. He pulls a switch, and the door kind of mechanically pulls itself open. He comes down the stairs. And you can see Vondra is in here as well. She is not in regalia. She seems like that part's weird to her. Like, she kind of looks at him like, I don't get it, but she's holding a clipboard and taking notes on some things. And Fred leads you over, and he has the Warforged batteries that have clearly been charged in the Danger Glade. He has them all kind of hooked up together to build like a central reactor. He's got a bunch of cables going out, and one of them is powering what looks like a briefcase, and then the others are powering the cannon. He's made some modifications to that. And then the city. There's, the glowing lights of the city, the little structure, the glowing lights, the sign out front. And then another one is going into what looks like just kind of a booth. But he opens the briefcase, and then he thank you, Marty. Marty just gifted a bunch of subs.
Aw.
He reaches into the briefcase and he starts like rooting around, and it's clear that it is powering an extra dimensional space, basically. A bag of holding of sorts. He calls it a briefcase of keeping. And he says, this is going to make storage on drop jammers infinitely bigger. We're going to be able to fit so many more supplies on drop jammer runs. But if I was still in the camp and I hadn't obviously made this very legal, normal decision to start my own city country, the Greene Corporation would own it. And what would they do with it? Would they have your best interests at heart? I don't know if they have my best
absolutely
interests
not.
at heart.
Okay, this is despite from the whole king thing, way not as bad as I was expecting.
My expectations were very low, and they've definitely been exceeded. I must say, I'm actually very impressed, Fred. Not sure what the whole crown thing, but How long have you been in the Danger Glade? Curious.
How long was I in? Well, I knew that a Connie Redshirt had been in there for several hours, So I limited my exposure to 1 hour at a time.
Sandra, were you in there at all?
She's like, no.
Okay, do you also have some spare paper and maybe a pen?
Oh, yeah. She kind of hands you a stack. Jesus. A stack of paper and a pen.
Okay, we are about to have to invent another name for another legal firm because Issabel's going to write down the mailing address for the patent lawyer that she used for her patents.
Ingalls and Rockhammer. Sorry, I just made that one up.
Trying to think of
That was good.
real patent firms.
I actually know a couple now because I've been in law school.
Yeah, most of them are just last names. But I'm trying to. Marty might know.
Why don't you just do Inkwell and Ironclad? Yeah.
It's a universal constant. It's
Because that would be weird because Issabel's grandpa is an ironclad.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Fair.
That would be odd then.
Yeah, I used that. Is why.
Iron.
My bad.
Iron well and inkclad.
That's what I was
Iron
thinking.
Let's see.
This is how we spent the rest of the episode. Trying
Wait,
to name a legal company that
copyright.
does not
Have the clan name be clan copyright.
Oh.
You're so unhelpful, internet.
Are you trying to copyright?
No, I was just trying to Google dwarf lawyer
Or
names.
Disney?
Ooh.
I'm gonna copyright D&D streams. I think I can do that.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for
Probably.
like 4 years now.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So that's
Weird.
probably first.
Yeah, we were in no way inspired by anything else.
No.
Totally not.
Yeah, we didn't all meet because of another stream. That would be ridiculous.
Would be upset.
Marty says Inksmith and Papermeister.
That's nice.
I think, what about Papersmith? I think that's funnier.
Paper
the
Smith
idea
and
of-
Pencil Butcher.
I like that one.
That's good.
Just the idea of a papersmith, I think, is very funny. But papersmith and pencil pusher. Okay.
Putting a slop of wet pulp onto an anvil and hammering it flat.
A printing press is basically that.
Yep.
Okay, so Issabel wants to write down papersmith and pencil pusher.
Yep.
Why do we have to keep coming up with dwarven lawyer clans?
This one didn't necessarily have to be dwarven. We chose to make it that.
I guess that's true.
Goblin. You never know.
Okay.
I mean, when you get into as much legal trouble as goblins, you want to have some good lawyers.
Yeah, maybe one of them's a goblin. I do like that idea. Pencil pusher, probably.
Pencil Butcher is the goblin.
Okay. So, you write down that law firm, and he kind of cocks his head at you. Like, what do I need this for?
To
Oh.
file a patent on your invention so that you actually own the rights to it.
I mailed it to myself. Is that enough? There's no mailing system here.
So the next time that the mail ship comes to New Spice City, we can put outgoing mail on it, and you can let this office know that you're trying to file a patent for your device.
Okay. Should I patent the other ones too?
I mean, if you've invented something that's, I think it's new, novel, or I forget what the thing is, but Issabel would know. But like, if it fits these requirements, then yeah.
I literally took IP law last term and I've forgotten already.
It basically has to be new, novel, or like a vast improvement.
Got 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Marty might be able to correct me on that too, but it might not even have to be
that
vast.
is it.
But it has to be an improvement of some kind that is notable. And intellectually distinct, as we like to joke. Okay. So he's like, and the company won't steal it in the oh, you're all.
If the company doesn't know about it, but if you've gone vanishing, then that's company business. If there's just this sort of sitting here for a month or 2.
That's just a minor legal dispute. I mean, you can get a lawyer for that. You don't have to proclaim yourself king of Fredonia.
Pretty much.
I don't know what the exact terms of the engineering team's contracts were, but
Kind of looks at your chief engineer.
In terms of this specific contract, we weren't expected to do a whole lot of inventing as much as we were expected to do improvising and fixing things. So
I did say that if it is invented in the course of duty, it is owned by the company. If it is invented but outside the course of regular company duty, it is not. Is my understanding is the standard for these.
I mean, he's using company supplies, and he only knew about the danger blade because of the company.
But you didn't have to steal a bunch of Warforged batteries. I don't know why everyone thinks that Warforged batteries are somehow we have other bigger batteries, you know.
Well, they're easy to carry.
Is that the only reason you?
That's the only reason I took them. I'm not associated with that other crime. I'd like to point that out.
Okay.
That was weird. I'm doing it for science. I didn't take them from a person. They were extras.
Weirdly enough, I think the fact that you stole them actually makes a better case that you did not do it as part of your contract and therefore own the invention. I think.
Breaking the law helped. Yes.
Yeah, no, the law's weird like that sometimes.
Because it's legal doesn't mean it's correct.
You want to see my other inventions or what?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I'm enjoying myself so far.
Well, he says, I figured out how to, obviously, to discharge these more compact batteries after being supercharged, so I can power the case of keeping.
That name, that's catchy.
Right? It's the best one I could think of. It's intellectually distinct. Case of keeping. He's powering the whole city. City again. It's a couple buildings. The cannon.
Slightly nice, small shanty town.
Yeah, the cannon, which he does turn on, and it is a lot quieter than before because it's more like a minigun now. It overheats pretty quickly, but it shoots like a bunch of shrapnel pretty quickly. It's like a junk machine.
I know I'm going to regret asking this, but I have to. How often do you have to reload that?
He says, "Well, I haven't perfected it yet, so it unloads in about 20 seconds."
The magazines, could those feasibly use the same technology if it's the case of keeping?
Kind of.
I know I'm going to regret saying this, but I did have to ask.
I thought of it. Everyone saw me think of it.
Okay, well, that's Bell for the record. You need to make a check out to someone.
And then the last thing is it's like a phone booth, and Vondra kind of like tries to get one of your attention, like someone come here.
Oh, Issabel's all about that cannon. It's not going to work on her.
Okay.
I'll go
Claire
over.
will look over.
Okay. Wynne and Claire will go over, and she'll say, "So, okay. I left because what he was saying about the company made sense. Some of the stuff he's doing, though, I am uncomfortable with. Like, he's going to step into that box, and he keeps... He's testing it on himself, and I don't think it works right, because he keeps coming back... How do I say this? Weirder.
What's the box supposed to do?
He says it's a transmogrifier. It teleports.
To where?
He hasn't worked that out yet, so he just kind of keeps teleporting and then bouncing back. He has to build a receptor for it. So right now it's like just the concept of teleportation, but every time he comes back, he adds like more stuff to his crown. And he started, I'm pretty sure he has a rash or something that looks pretty nasty. He's wearing like long sleeves now to cover it, but...
I mean, I guess if he's built a teleportation box to nowhere, I guess that's not healthy.
He seems not like himself.
It's a bit foolish to start on person experimentation, much less self-experimentation, without working up to it first. Did he try to teleport anything else?
He did.
Before?
Yeah. He tried to teleport one of the Warforged batteries. That was a mistake.
I was going to suggest maybe an apple.
Oh, well, he did.
Or a small rock.
He did rocks and sticks. They never came back. So he didn't.
Not a highly volatile piece of machinery.
Those didn't come back, so he decided to walk in.
That's a great solution.
He wanted to know where it was going, he said.
But you said he needed another box.
High int, low whiz. High int, low whiz.
Issabel is not one to talk in this regard, if I'm being honest.
I think pretty sure a lot of us are high int, low whiz. If none of us would have done that.
Excuse me. I'm the only wise character in this party.
Exactly.
Wynne just puts a hand out. No. What are you doing? Apple.
Yeah, Clangley just kind of standing with Fred and be like, "How you doing there, buddy? Looking
never been
inventive.
Better. I'm king.
Is this guy poisoning himself with unobtainium or I'm sorry, I forget every single episode.
Residuum.
Is this guy poisoning himself with residuum?
You can make an Arcana or medicine check.
I'll make
Legally distinctium.
Yes.
Okay, I got an 11.
Can I make that too?
Sure.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. With an 11, Clangley, certainly looking at him, and you're not an expert on humanoid physiology, but he does look a little pale, a little clammy perhaps, but he's wearing a bunch of sticks and leaves, and it's hot. You're in a kind of a muggy forest. But yeah, Claire, looking at him, getting a little closer, you can see kind of at the edges of his collars, like his skin, it's all patchy, like it's got a bunch of, it's made up of a bunch of different patches. There's like kind of scales and moss. It's almost like the sticks are trying to cover that. That's what his skin is starting to look like.
Claire's gonna pull out like a thing of rubber gloves and just like snap them on her hands, and then sort of asking, sort of not, being like, "Fred, can I see your arms?"
Just kind of like, yep, like he shows you from
and
here.
then like grab,
no,
pull. What do I see?
Kind of looms over menacingly just to make sure he doesn't try anything.
Okay. Yeah. So you basically pull off all his buttons, kind of pop on his sleeves, and yeah, it's not quite stripes or anything like that because it's much more random. But it'll be like tree bark, dirt, moss, and if you poke it at all with your gloves and such.
Apple.
An apple. If you use Mage Hand to kind of feel it and poke at it, it's not like it's covering the skin. It is like that he is made of that stuff now.
Wynne.
Oh dear.
Oh.
You're combining yourself with the stuff you teleported through that machine, I'm pretty sure.
You said transmogrified?
I'm trying to transport is the proper term. A teleportation, if you will.
You might be trying to do that, but what you're currently doing is slowly killing yourself.
Allegedly.
Not allegedly. Your organs will, like, your vital organs will eventually be replaced with something, and then something bad will happen. Don't know when that happens, just because I'm not a medic. You know, Claire, when does that happen?
Well, it depends. This tree bark is technically living tissue, just not humanoid living tissue. I mean, you and I are, non-organic, and this is organic. There could be some strange transformation magic happening here. It is certainly changing him, though. Using my necromantic magic, can I tell if it's killing him?
I don't. Yeah. I mean, if he keeps doing this, would it kill him? Is hard to ascertain. This should have killed him. I mean, your arm shouldn't just be made of a different thing than it's supposed to without like if he had a. It's not like it's a prosthetic arm or anything like that. He's grafted dirt onto where flesh should be. Like this chunk is made of dirt, and then he'll have like a regular hand, and you can kind of poke through it, and there's like worms and stuff growing in it. It's not how hands work. It's not how arms work. It shouldn't. So that shouldn't be. So something is holding him together, and something is clearly keeping him alive, and his muscles and nerves are functioning and such. So it's not a matter of whether it will kill him. It's more a matter of how is it keeping him from his arm becoming gangrenous now?
Andy, I think I'm going to use a spell in a kind of bullshit way.
I'd love to hear how you explain this bullshit spell, because that's my favorite.
Okay. So, I know that as a necromancer, I have spells that allow me to... I might not have them yet, but it's not false life. Oh, it's some... There's some kind of necromantic spell that allows me to like take like hit points from people that I cast the spell on.
Vampiric touch?
Oh, that might be it. I don't have that yet. Damn. But like...
do you not know it yet? I was going to say you can prepare it, but if you don't know it yet...
I don't know it yet, no.
Okay.
But if I can learn it, it would take a little bit. What she essentially wants to do is try and take like a tiny bit of his life force, give it to herself to see exactly what is holding him together.
Don't you have chill touch, or
does chill touch do that?
Doesn't it?
It doesn't.
Something did that.
Transfer life like vampiric touch would. Like I think it would just drain, but I don't know. I'm not the one in the driver's seat, so.
This is a bit of a stretch, but could I use Identify on his weird skin thing?
If you had Detect Magic, maybe? It's not a magic item.
I do.
Okay, if you use Detect Magic, you think that would probably give you more information than Identify.
I would like to.
Okay.
Also, Vampiric Touch is a 3rd level spell. I only have 2nd level spells.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cast it as a ritual while this is going on, and Clangley's kind of monocle, he like tilts it a little bit and kind of lights up purple. Now loading magic detection software. Please stand by.
This has been another use of the identifier. It's one of my favorite fantasy high bits.
I love it.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. I just love Brendan Lee Mulligan's brain. Okay, so casting Detect Magic. You can see other parts of his body are also glowing. It is mostly his extremities, his arms and legs. It has not reached any of his chest or head, his important organs. But yeah, it's all, you can kind of see bands of it, and it's all transmutation spells. It's just oozing transmutation magic.
So you are getting hit with a powerful dose of transmutation magic every time you use that thing.
I just have to work out the kinks.
It's very unpredictable, and if you keep using it, I worry it will spread to your vital organs or something else. It will have very negative effects on you. Could kill you, could drive you completely mad.
Claire still has like a tight grip on his arm, and she's like taken a little probe and is like pressing into the bits. Is like, can you feel this? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you feel this?
Yes. I feel it. I'm getting an accent now. Sorry. Hold on.
Contagious. Everyone
it is. I love a contagious accent.
I did learn to speak from a dwarf, actually.
Yeah. Every time you touch him, he can feel it.
Mm.
Ah.
And he seems to have, he's moving.
This might not work, but can Wynne just cast Lesser Restoration on the guy?
Hold, please. See what Lesser Restoration
We are about to find out.
I can touch a creature and end either one disease or one condition afflicting it.
Forget if that one gets rid of ability damage or not.
disease. Is this a disease? I feel like this is more like a curse.
No. Well,
Which I think might
still
be...
too low a level for that.
Yeah. I'm gonna remove. That's a 3rd level spell, right? Yeah. I unmuted myself, right? Okay, good. Yeah, you don't think Lesser Restoration would do much for him right now.
Okay.
But he basically says, like, he's like, Vondra doesn't understand. Like, I don't need a second reception chamber yet because I'm using the same one. I'm bouncing the signal back. I'm teleporting myself here, basically. So I just need to work out the kinks so that it's just teleporting me. And it bounces off of something and comes back here. If I had another reception booth, it would be the same problem. But, you know, I don't have the power sources to power 2 booths yet.
I mean, yeah, but it just seems like these things, like, it seems like you're kind of not sort of bouncing back. It's more like you're combining yourself into the sticks and stones that you shoved in there before.
Well, I need to figure out how to stop doing that.
I guessing stop using it because whatever is happening, the power isn't transferring the way it should be. And instead, yeah, you're bouncing back. But you're bouncing back with the rest of the sticks. So how many sticks and stones did you transfer first?
He says, well, I had to run a lot of tests. They
And
all came back okay. They all came back sticks and stones.
You sure about that?
I thought you said that.
Now they're all
didn't
coming
come
back as you.
He kind of puts a handful of sticks into the thing and powers it up, and it does. I did say they weren't coming back earlier.
You did.
That was a mistake. He powers up the device, and it kind of big flash of green, and yeah, all the sticks come back, but now they're covered in hair.
Is it his hair?
It looks like it's the same color as his hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clangley will not touch them with his hands, but he'll like take out like some tongs, like some blacksmith tongs, and just kind of.
Claire holds out a jar for him to put him in.
Yep. Right in the jar they go. It's your hair, buddy.
Of all the cursed sentences we've said on this show,
That one's certainly unique.
Yeah, it was just, and it was so like fatherly reassuring.
like what you might say at your son's first haircut.
Yeah, that's your hair, bud. You're doing great. This isn't great. You're not doing great. You're clearly unwell.
Not mad, just a little bit horrified and confused. Just really glad they didn't come back with a fleshy texture. That would have been... I can't vomit, but I would have... Whatever the robot equivalent is. Whatever, rather, the automaton equivalent is.
What Issabel has been doing while everyone else has been questioning the inventor is going over the invention, and she has a part of her like work sketchbook pulled open that's not in her handwriting. It's in her cousin's handwriting, who built the device that sent Issabel here. And she's kind of comparing the note she has from her to what Fred has built here.
Yeah, so looking at it, there are clearly some parallel thoughts for sure. Like there's definitely bits matching up. Now that one is sending you such a great distance, and you have to like factor in like it's on the prime material, but you have to get through a crystal sphere, and like technically that shouldn't be possible. But your cousin's like, like wait, people who say things are impossible just don't have imagination. So that's that's traveling such a great distance, and this is clearly trying to work on a much smaller scale. You know, the biggest Fred is thinking is from here to the moon and back, and he clearly doesn't have that right. But yeah, no, comparing the two, you could probably do a lot of work on this device using those notes and kind of melding the two ideas.
Hey. Fred, can you just... Here's some notes. Can you just kind of go over these or see what... Because I've seen a device like this before, though it was a lot different.
He takes a look.
It's not
and
how your arm got that way, is it?
Oh, you're asking.
Yeah, I was asking Issabel.
Issabel.
I didn't hear.
I apologize.
I didn't hear what the question was.
That's not how your arm got that way, is it?
No. That one was my fault. This is my cousin's work.
I apologize if that was an offensive question.
No.
Okay. So Fred's kind of looking at it, and he's like, "Oh, of course." And he immediately starts like working and kind of fixing things. And Vondra is just like, Frederick, is this helpful? Is it going to put you back? Shouldn't you go see a doctor? You're just going to tell me to do cocaine about it.
And I also don't think there are any actual doctors on this trip.
Vondra's like, that does seem like an oversight.
We did kind of establish the closest we have to a doctor is Claire.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it, and that feels like a... See, it's not an issue for me, obviously, but yeah. Hey, Claire, do you want to be the team doctor?
Do I have to sign a contract?
Nah.
Legal team's still up on the moon. We'll let them worry about it later.
The thing is, if I truly am going to be able to understand what's happening to him, I need to observe him for a long period of time. It's going to take a lot of arcane study, probably over the course of several days, and I feel like he doesn't want to go back to New Spice City. And that's where all of my equipment is. Also, I'm told that my office is uncomfortable for some people. And he would have to stay.
That's not...
I mean, I don't mind it for what it's worth.
I mean, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to go back and tell everyone that, Fred's gone off by himself and is turning into a plant.
Also, we need to make sure he doesn't step into that machine again.
Yeah. So yeah, one of us should really stay behind and make sure he's okay.
I can stay here. I technically don't have any official work that I need to be doing. So unless there's any great need of me, I can stay. If you're alright with that, of course, Fred.
Yeah. All are welcome in Fredonia for science. This is going to be great.
I'll need some equipment. So if you are all going back, then I would like to request a few things.
Certainly.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She takes like pen and paper and like writes down. There are a couple of like her notebooks that she would like a whole bunch of sample tubes. Some of the like magic healing stones, like 2 or 3, like just in case something goes wrong.
Okay.
Cool.
Sorry, my cat is not happy. She thinks it's dinner time.
She is correct.
She usually is, but she's gonna be okay. Okay. So, you're gonna split the party basically. 3 of you are gonna go back to the main camp and bring Claire some supplies. And Claire is going to stay here and observe Fred. Is that the idea? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So the trip back is uneventful. Home team. Would you like to do anything in camp or just carry stuff back to Fredonia from New Spice City?
Be incredibly careful.
Going to
No
help.
offense to Claire, but some of the stuff in her lab is a little bit, yeah.
I don't know.
Fine,
Wynne
there's
just goes
nothing
in.
Volatile.
Yeah, it's like, nah, it's
Just
fine.
occasionally a bit unsavory.
Yeah. Clangley will handle everything there with care.
Okay.
You see that like when you go in there, the body of Akane Redshirt, the leftover bones have actually been like placed carefully and like wrapped up, ready to either be cremated or sent back. Like she's done with those, but there are significantly more animal bones in here than the last time you remembered. You don't know where she's getting all of them.
Claire, why?
Claire, I visit her almost every day, make sure she's doing okay, and just more. There's always more. I don't know when she gets it. She doesn't ever seem to leave, but there's just... Here it is.
These bones, do we need to bring with us?
Just bring what's on the list. If she needs anything else, she'll let us know.
All right, we're gonna bring what's on the list.
Okay.
I like to think Wynne is oddly silent through all this, because she's probably brought Claire some bone she found out in the woods just as a, look at the thing I found, and then Claire's like, neat, and she just takes them.
Yeah, I don't know where all of this one keeps coming from. It's a mystery.
As a thank you, Claire has actually drawn like those bones and diagrams out and like given them to her after she's done.
Yeah, and yeah, because Wynne's not very good at drawing, so she puts it in her book.
There's a note that Wynne like kind of subtly like crumples up. That's just like, here are some more bones I found. Wynne. Bunch of hearts all over it. Like,
are we doing this again?
no, I just meant like in a friendly way. Sorry.
My character gets more and more unsettling with every single episode.
I just like the dichotomy of like, yeah, being like Wynne thinking it's like a nice gift, and Claire being like, "Yes, the bones."
More.
This is the Necromancer being in any party. It's lovely. We're gonna get animated dead soon. It's gonna be great.
Once I get those 3rd level spells, baby, things are about to get a whole lot worse.
Worse
Okay.
or better?
Okay, I could use animated dead to reanimate the bones of said animals to observe the ambulatory properties of the fauna of this planet without actually having to observe them in the wild.
That actually is a very creative use of animate dead.
Is it a terrifying facsimile of life? Absolutely. Is it fun? Even more so.
Very creative, honestly.
Is it a crime against God and nature? Yes.
Yeah, but...
Listen, Claire spited God the moment she put her consciousness into a robot. So, like...
Wasn't her, technically, I don't know how that works.
Neither does she.
Yay!
Is it Claire's original soul? Is it a new person?
She has all those old memories. Are they hers?
The Dell theme just start playing in anyone else's head.
Yeah. The second she started that Warforged battery, is that a new soul? Well, how does it work? How does any of it work? Answer
Magic.
the question, Mira. No. Okay. Okay, so you all bring the stuff back.
I will also say when try to shuffle Roly Poly secretly behind her as they're gathering stuff.
Okay. Kind of rolling around. Literally. Kayla, Commander Crawford does try and get your attention at some point, like any of your attention, being like, did you find him?
Yes,
Working
I
on
will
it.
have more for you on that later.
Great.
Not using the trip as an excuse to stall and think of excuses.
Is he okay?
He is moving of his own accord, and he is capable of thinking.
It's an odd way to answer that question. Yes or no would have been...
For now, he is more yes than no. Vondra is perfectly alright, though, so...
Well, that's good. Kind of like... Yeah, lowers her head, like, I probably don't even want to know, and walks away.
It's useful, so we're gonna just sort of let and see that play out as long as he doesn't take more stuff, but... I will keep a close eye on the situation.
I trust you.
I thank you for that.
Okay. So back in the Fredonia, Claire, is there anything in particular you would like to be doing, or are you just like, I'm not even here, I'm just observing kind of thing?
I mean, she's already taken out the stick hair and has, like, her little magnifying eyepiece specifically, like, looking at the connection between the wood and the hair to figure out exactly how that happened. Does the wood have follicles now?
Yes.
Interesting.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Would it be better if the hair just fell off of it?
It's
Like a toupee?
Yeah, I don't like a bad kid's art project or something like that, where it's just like, I didn't glue it right.
Careful with the hot glue gun, Fred.
If I just glue my hair back on, it'll work.
Claire is also going to take a look at Fred's head to see if he is missing any hair.
No, you do think this is like arm hair.
Oh. Interesting. So they're swapped. So the follicles in Fred's arms are being replaced by organic matter, and they're switching.
Yes. Yes.
Fascinating. Does Claire still have any of that moss that ate the danger glade?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, good.
She has ideas.
Okay. So Fred kind of looks at you and looks at the clump of dirt with hair on it, and he says, "So can I continue my experiments now, or
No.
no?"
No.
Could I put not me into it?
Yes.
What do I want to put into it? Kind of starts looking around for stuff. Starts rooting through his case of keeping.
Claire's gonna produce a bone out of her pocket. She's gonna try this.
Okay.
A residuum
That's
bone?
my
bone.
That's my question.
This is a regular bone for right now.
A regular bone? Okay.
For
Yes.
now.
For now.
He kind of he's like, hold on. And he brushes off as much of the dirt and grass and sticks as he can. Then he puts a metal plate onto the bottom of it. And he's like, maybe this will help. He puts the bone in there and he kind of goes through the sequence and activates it. And it disappears in that kind of green light. And then reappears. And it's what kind of bone did you put in there?
Probably some kind of animal leg bone, something thick.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a foot.
Like a bone foot or a whole foot?
Like a foot, like with skin and stuff.
But is it like a humanoid foot?
Yeah,
or
it's
like
a humanoid
the foot of an
foot.
animal.
It's like a humanoid foot. Yeah.
Is it a,
Which side is it
maybe
on?
Maybe a Fred-shaped foot?
It's like a dwarf Fred shaped foot. Yeah, it's left foot. Is that the question?
Fred, take off your left shoe.
Kind of, yeah, takes it off and it's kind of gravel and moss. He's like, that was like that before.
What was the first? Can you list for me in the exact sequential order what things you put?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He hands you his notes.
Is there a pattern there?
In what pattern are you looking for? Let me ask that.
Like, what goes in and comes out first replaces the next thing, or vice versa?
So, okay, so if he put like a rock in first, and then when he started putting himself in, are you asking like, was his hand rock, basically? No, it seems like it seems like whatever is happening is semi-random. It's all certainly he is made of stuff that he put in there. Like, that's for sure happening.
Okay.
But it does seem like there's no necessarily set order to it. And sometimes when he comes out, it's like a couple bits will have changed. So, like, he's got like a hand of sticks, and it happened like the hand of sticks, and then the forearm of dirt was like one time, and then his fingers on his other hand changed like one at a time, and he's run a lot of tests.
Claire's gonna take the foot. Is it alive?
It is a no. It's. I mean, no. It has no life to it.
Does it have blood, or?
You would say. I mean,
If you tickle it, does Fred start laughing?
Yeah, it's got blood vessels and nerves and stuff in it, muscles and a bone.
Okay, before Claire starts to take this thing apart, can she do an Arcana check
Sure.
to see if she could glean, like, what putting the bone in made a difference? And then it brought out a whole, like, humanoid foot.
Marty in chat is Andy's being so weird right now, and I asked him, "Tell me one thing that is weird right now." He said, "I was going to capitulate that I couldn't name just one thing, but it's the foot. Now it's the foot."
Yeah.
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 What about
I was expecting to fly today, but that's where we ended up.
So what about so make your check. Sorry, did you make your check?
I did, and it is a solid 21.
Oh, whoa, okay. Okay, so what about the bone caused this kind of jump in? Well, it just had hair before. You think because the bone was somehow organic, the bone is organic in nature. It almost like attracted more of the stuff that's being stored in this transporter, because you think clearly the stuff has to have gone somewhere. It's not destroying matter. So you think that maybe this and the case of keeping have almost become crossed, like it's shunting stuff off into an extra dimensional space and pulling it back, but it's pulling it back and putting it together wrong. So it's trying its best to match things up, but it's just that it doesn't because there's no like computer processing it. It's all just kind of this dude like Frankensteining electricity through something. It has no sense of the right way to do it.
So he needs some kind of like cataloging and reception system.
Yeah, whether that's a computer or a wizard, he needs something.
It's like a Pokemon PC.
Yes. He needs Bill to fix this.
Oh my god, this is exactly what happens in that game.
He turns himself into a Kabuto.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that is
That
exactly
also was
what
another
happens.
Fly reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn it, Andy.
Stupid Bill. Unintentional Pokemon references are the best.
Okay, so there are 3 exact things that Claire wants to do within the course of this observation period. 1, she wants to see if she can try to surgically reattach Fred's foot. 2, she wants... You said it was still living. I assume that he doesn't want to live with like a gravel foot for the rest of his life.
There's a Criminal Minds episode about this. I'd just like to point that out. But okay, go ahead.
2, she wants to work with Issa and the other engineers to figure out some sort of cataloging system so that this doesn't keep happening and they could also possibly get the rest of Fred's body parts back. And 3, she wants to put a residuum bone in there before they make those changes.
Okay.
Yeah, Claire was a great pick for the team doctor, guys. I'm glad we made that decision.
Okay. Around this time, I will say the New Spice City team has returned as well. Fred says he trusts your opinion on the foot if you think you can surgically reattach it. It's got an extra animal bone floating around in there, but yeah.
I like that. This is like the exact part where we walk in. It's like, you want to do what to Fred's foot? What happened?
Oh, that is an entire foot on the floor.
So yeah, this is what's happening.
Yeah, he's got tingers. Toe fingers. That's what we call them, I don't know. Where you just have longer toes, they look like fingers.
I think of the feet hands scene from that Halloween episode of Community. Yeah, so Claire will relay what she, like, her hypothesis about the cataloging and retrieval system to Issa. Be like, this is what I think is happening, and if we want to make sure that Fred doesn't, like, become tree brain, this is how we fix this. Does the camp have ice anywhere? I feel like I should put this foot on ice or something.
You can magically make ice.
Yeah, I can make water and ice, I think. Let me see.
Cool.
It's still alive.
Claire's also being... I'm not being nonchalant about this foot, but Claire's absolutely being nonchalant about this foot.
Fair enough. Fair. Oh.
Yeah, if you have shape water, you can freeze it.
I don't have shape water, but I have create or destroy water.
Oh, let's see. Is that...
Nothing says it can't be solid
Could she
water.
create water and I could use chill touch
To chill
to
it.
freeze it?
I would say for sure that, but I also really liked Jay's. Yeah, ice is still water. You can create...
You say that now, but then when in 20 episodes I make a whole bunch of ice cubes to like trip an opponent, like make it all slippy, you're gonna be like, nah.
No.
You do that with water though.
I would probably let you do that. Didn't Soup once use destroy water to destroy fog? Oh, it says you can do that. I think she did. But yes, so if you use create water, you can either use chill touch or another ice spell to freeze it, or I would say you could create it as an ice cube.
Oh, sweet. Just one big ice cube.
Or like sets the foot down on top of that.
Nailed it.
All right, but yeah, Claire is probably not right now. She's probably going to wait until everyone leaves because she's seen how people typically react to surgery, even if it is this really magically weird one.
I think Wynne would probably just stay because she's technically the only healer.
I mean, it's like Clangley's a robot, so I don't know if he like is impacted by that.
Oh no, it's a removal of someone's limb. How terrible.
All right, so I guess we're all gonna watch the surgery, guys.
Before that happens, there's also another bullshit thing that I want to do.
Go for it.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so you know how Claire used the residuum bone to upgrade her mage hand spell?
Uh-huh.
She wants to do the same thing with mending.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on.
Are you gonna mend his entire body with a foot?
I'm going to mend the foot back onto his body, essentially.
Oh.
Like, obviously, there's going to be some, like, medical, arcane things involved with this, and yes, Wynne's healing is definitely going to be required, but I feel like this is going to give me leg up in this situation. No pun intended.
No pun intended. Let's see.
Yes,
Howard,
it is.
intend your
Don't lie
puns.
to yourself.
I didn't hear it until I said it. This is not what I expected this episode to be.
Sometimes things just happen. So mending doesn't say you can use it on, like, people?
No, you very specifically can.
Yeah, it's objects. And I know you're trying to residuum it up, but I think that would, like Mage Hand, increasing just, you know, the amount of weight you can lift. I think it would increase the size of... Marty's asking, is Fred people still? Yes.
Yeah, is he not objects yet?
Oh man, did I say you could use mending on a Warforged?
Yes. I think
Yeah,
you
where do we
can.
draw that line between people and objects? Especially now that Warforged are involved.
I would say it has to
What is
deal
a
with
man?
organic matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
hey, listen, Andy. If you want to say no to this, I am 100% fine with that.
Yeah, because I don't want mending to become a cantrip cure, basically. Like,
yeah.
if
You are allowed to say no.
Yeah, if you were trying to upspare the dying, maybe. But he's not dying. No. Okay. No. I'm going to say no for this. I'm going to say no for this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand that I'm pushing the bullshit line quite a bit here.
What happens if I upcharge Cure Wounds then?
If you upcharge Cure Wounds, it might do something. Now we haven't figured out how to upcharge Wynne's spells yet. If you can just, I guess you could just use Residuum Crystals, but...
Yeah, because Cure Wounds is just for, like, I think, visual and somatic. So I would just, like, I guess... Though I don't know how you would, like... Do we cut the foot off and then we try to, like, mush it in?
Oh. I'm glad you're not the doctor. What was I even looking up? Cure Wounds. It's a very simple procedure. I just have to mush some things.
That's more accurate to medicine than you might think.
First, we're going to
mush
pull
them
it apart.
together.
Then we're going to mush
Sew it in place, and then as you heal, it'll all sort itself out.
The body knows what it's doing.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Mostly. It's part of being a macroorganism with automated functions.
I mean, you can certainly try.
Maybe we should get more body parts back before we try this.
I mean, a foot is relatively inconsequential. Like, I don't want to be performing this on, like, his brain or something. Where we try to get more back and do, like, mass limb reattachment.
It's a foot. If all else fails, we make him a new one.
Very true.
Apparently we have couple.
Yeah. I mean, most of us are Warforged. We got, you know, Isabella has a prosthetic arm. It's either this or, you know, Gravelfoot.
I don't know. Does he mind Gravelfoot?
Is
Gravelfoot causing you any problems?
It doesn't hurt. He doesn't have, like,
would you
gout or anything.
Fred, would you like your original foot back?
He kind of points at it. He says, "Is that my original foot?"
Hopefully.
It's
Can I, like, do a size comparison?
It's a foot that looks like my foot, but this
Yeah,
is
point of order. We're discussing how to do this. What's Fred's opinion on the matter?
Fred said he trusted the doctor. he thinks this is working out okay, but he also understands that medically maybe it's not in the long term great to have a gravel foot.
Claire also, for the like specifically medical purposes, if this were to be widely used and something were to go wrong, where someone were to lose a limb trying to teleport, she wants to be sure that like it can be put back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jay.
This campaign is bonkers.
Okay. Fred says he is fine with this. This is, in a way, he did this to himself, or he did do this to himself. So in a way, he's kind of like, he's come to terms with it. He's kind of like, this is fine. Obviously, I'm trying to avoid it continuing to degenerate. I'm trying to avoid me, continuing to lose more and more of myself. I don't want this to happen to other people using this thing. So if you think that reassembling my body bit by bit through the transporter, then he's willing to try, but
okay. Claire is going to cast sleep on Fred.
oh,
We don't have an anesthesiologist, so
I love that. As well, I have to do surgery. Sleep. Yeah, he passes out.
All right, cool. Yeah, and Claire will use what's around her to make as sterile as she could possibly get it surgical table. Now, there probably aren't going to be a whole lot of fluids involved in this, but let's keep it as clean as we can.
Heats up.
And yeah, she's going to use
spicy.
her both medical and arcane knowledge, whatever healing Wynne is able to give to put Fred's foot back on.
Okay, give me a medicine check.
Oh. Who's doing the medicine check?
Can Wynne aid me?
Wynne can aid, but
considering I'm the one actually doing the surgery.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone has guidance, but
wait, which one of us is doing the roll?
Time.
You are.
Claire's
Okay,
doing
cool.
the roll.
Okay, pretty good. 19.
19. Okay.
I rolled a 2 and a 14, so we were very close.
I wish we had chat on stream, because Marty's just like killing it with the foot jokes right now. It's great.
Absolutely, yes. Let's see. First of all, Jay said footloose joke, which that got me. Then Marty responded with footless. Kick off your Sunday feet. And then cast Big V's foot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the worst episode of Laughing Dragon Inn.
If there was ever a time to yell, show feet at us, this is it.
Worst. It's the best one. Okay.
D&D is so weird.
This is the most popular role-playing game, and I think you can all see why.
Again, show feet.
Show feet, guys. D&D character shows up in our campaign.
Okay. Yeah, with a 19, you think you successfully reattach his foot?
Great. All right, cool. Claire is going to let Fred rest and also just document everything that has happened this day within her notes. But yeah. I don't think I have anything more to say about this.
Join us next week on Star Chasers when they go to the foot dimension. Our entire brand now.
Maybe they'll find all of Fred's rocks there.
Okay, so there's that. His foot is reconnected. What else would you all like to do while you're here? He's recuperating.
Question my life choices.
I think Wynne would just keep an eye on Fred to make sure, like, the foot doesn't go gangrenous or whatever, to make sure.
No, aided with magic and stuff like that. You think, and monitoring him, you think he will be okay. And that the check was pretty good. If it had been like a 4, yeah, that's not great. He's gonna need his gravel foot back. Okay. He has his flesh foot back. Wynne is watching through the night. Issabel, Clangley, and Claire. Is there anything any of you would like to do?
Now that Fred's kind of just asleep and out of the picture, Issabel wants to, like, talk to Vondra and figure out, okay, like, what are we doing here now? Because, like, I'm gonna let you go on, because, like, he's making good work. He's just going about his test questionably.
Yeah. She basically says, like, well, I came out here because I was worried for his safety. He's clearly, obviously, very innovative. He just does not care about safety protocols. And
Yeah, no, that causes problems.
Yes.
Ask me how I know.
Kind of solemnly nods. And she's like, and this is as pared back as I could get him. He also just does things when I'm sleeping. Runs experiments. I think what he is doing is important, but yeah, we clearly need to rein him in some capacity. I should have told you what was happening, but I thought, well, if I thought I could do better. Not than you. I thought I could do better than this. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, The concern was ownership of the inventions. And that's reasonable. It's a good concern to have. It isn't in our contracts that anything that we invent explicitly while here with, even necessarily with materials, it's working on something for the, like, if he had invented this while working on another project that he had been given, that would be in a case of where he was working directly for the company. It's a company invention. None of this was related to any of his assigned tasks or your assigned, well, except the cannon.
Yeah.
I understand him wanting to keep the cannon.
Yeah. He loves that cannon.
Nice cannon, and I've seen a few cannons. But, I'm no stranger to sideways inventing something and keeping the rights of it from the company. Certainly not what one would call a loyal company woman. So I would do what is in my best interest, to keep your inventions in your hands as best as I can. The patent firm that I let him know about, he has it written down. They're fantastic. They've done great work for me. Oh, there it is.
Oh no, that's
Oh.
not. That no,
It's not.
it's not.
I'm still here.
Dan.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
That's okay.
He's Dan.
We thought it. No, we thought it was
Yeah.
Mira.
I've been good this entire time.
I think I just accidentally hit the end call button. There was no technical difficulty.
You were back real fast, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I just accidentally hit the end call button.
Okay. So yeah, so Vondra nods and she says, "Thank you, Chief. Do you think we can get him to go back? He does like this idea of Fredonia as sort of a think tank, free for all science colony."
It's not itself a terrible idea, but like with other things, any other thing we're trying new, the original implementation isn't always the best. So if we can convince him that maybe it's part of the workshopping process, to go back, sort of try again, maybe a little bit more over the board officially. Not going underwater. This is not Rapture. Also, way less capitalist.
If we want, though, we can still keep the aesthetic.
It is a cool aesthetic.
Art Deco good.
Mm-hmm. Unrestrained capitalism bad.
Very much.
Plus, I feel like with all the like Warforged work you're at, I feel like we can really pull it off.
Out of my dungeon and drag. This joke is getting really old. I'm sorry.
It will never be old. Keep politics out with Star Wars. It's never been political.
They're not fighting against the Empire or anything.
The Ewoks
Next, you're gonna
weren't
tell
the.
me that Superman is an immigrant has a political agenda to it.
What? I was thinking about that the other day. I'm just like, what? Zack Snyder, of all the things to get wrong, he's not Jesus. He's Moses. Like, come on. Anyway.
Gotta use religious allegory. Get the right one, damn it.
What? He's literally put in a basket. A space basket. Anyway. Marty agrees. Okay. So. She kind of nods and she's like, nothing political about Superman. Nods. Okay. I'm gonna get some sleep. Just kind of wanders off. Kind of keeping her distance from the transponder. But going to the case of keeping and pulling out a couple things and then going into her little tin room. Is there Clangley, is there anything you would like to do?
I don't know. No, I don't.
Okay, yeah. And Claire.
After Claire is done taking notes, she doesn't talk to anyone. She just like goes into rest mode. He's like, all right, I'm done, and then...
Okay.
Not even gonna put the gravel foot in a particularly large specimen jar?
Oh, she did that at the first thing.
Okay.
You have to
Yeah,
build the
she
hill
has it.
around the
She's
foot.
keeping it.
This is my foot now.
It's getting more and more alarming. Okay.
And
Okay.
it is a piece of inorganic material, essentially grafted and transformed into organic material. Yeah, that has relevance to what Clarence's doing.
Yeah, it worked. It was a real foot. Okay. Why don't we wrap it up there, and we'll come back in 2 weeks for more just absolutely normal, regular D&D stuff.
Perfectly normal. There were dungeons, there were dragons.
So many of both. Can't even keep track. Outros and plugs. Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan. If you or your friend know anyone who is Gravelfoot, please call the toll-free number at the bottom of the screen.
You may be entitled to financial compensation.
Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. Yeah, that episode took a turn from what I thought was going to happen today. But, you know.
I don't think any of us were expecting this.
I'm surprised at what happened. It's always fun. Mira.
Hi, I'm Mira, and I'm so sorry.
It happens.
I'm going to be thinking about this for the rest of my life. I feel like the question that we all need to walk away with tonight is this what the writers of Dungeons & Dragons had in mind for their game? Absolutely not. Is it what happened anyway? Yes.
This is better than what they had in mind, I think.
Probably.
And now that we know it's possible, you all have that power now. So
I don't think we can put this genie back in the bottle at this point. I think it's kind of out there, and
It was already weird, and it's just going to get weirder.
You can never put the foot genie back.
No.
No.
Gravelfoot's here. Gravelfoot stays.
So now that you all know that the mechanics of Dungeons & Dragons can be used to do whatever this was, go forth.
Also, name your next Dwarven clan Gravelfoot.
That's pretty good. I'm going to write that down. Jay.
You can watch us again if you'd like in 2 weeks. We'll have our other show when they are going to the foot dimension next week. Yeah.
Star Wars is on Monday. That's going to be all about feet, probably.
Yep. Who cares what we were doing before? Feet now.
Star feet.
It's all about feet now.
We're gonna get banned from Twitch.
Probably.
100%.
No.
We
We
can
just have
talk
to-
about it, we just can't show them.
That's right.
Okay. I don't have a foot cam. And, yeah, to each their own. I don't know why this episode became so foot-centric, but, you know, it just happens sometimes. Oh, as Marty points out, they're going to the eyeball dimension. It's slightly grosser. I will echo what everyone said. D&D can be whatever you want it to be. Don't let people on the internet tell you can't do it. You can do it, and I believe in you.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't do it, but you can, and therefore
All the
you should.
extremities you could have picked from, you went with the foot.
I don't know. It was like a.
Could
I
have
don't
just
know.
as easily been hand.
I mean, if we're spreading blame here, I feel like I did
What do I
take
do?
that way farther
Fine,
than it
happens,
needed to
it
go.
happens.
Okay.
Sometimes you get on a track and you can't really control it. It's like
Sometimes you get a ball rolling down a hill and you don't realize it's gonna land on a heap of children.
Sometimes you say Dugan's hole, and that becomes the whole episode somehow.
remember now. I remember Dugan's hole.
Everyone does.
Oh, how could you forget?
But I'm going to put that word back in the can.
Give us a like, give us a follow, use your Prime subscription if you have it, and you'd like to follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/godofroads, Twitter, all that good jazz, all that fun stuff. Next week is Star Wars and Star Chasers, and I hope you had fun. I think we all had fun, and that's fun. So
We all had something.
we all did something. D&D, won't you?
Something sure happened here this evening.
Bye.
Bye. I'm